Consider the lilies, how they grow. They toil not, they spin not. And yet I say unto you that Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. If then God so clothed the grass, which is today in the field and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith? And seek not ye what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, neither be ye of doubtful mind. For all these things do the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knoweth that ye have need of these things. But rather seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. But rather seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approacheth, neither moth corrupteth. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom.
The heaven, even the heavens, are the Lord's, Yahweh Shem Shai's, but the earth has it given to the children of men. Right, and what is it for? To dwell in. Now, Yahushua said that there's a place up there in the heavens in the Father's house that he has prepared for us. And then the scriptures speak about the Lord spread out the heavens to be inhabited. So it's going to be something, man. It's going to be something. And even in that, we still can't fathom what it's going to be like. Because the earth is huge. But the earth is only going to be able to accommodate so many Israelites. Remember, it says a little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. So Israelites are going to multiply. Remember, just in the land of Egypt, it said the more hell they put on Jacob, the more they multiply. Isaiah 54:1, sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear, break forth into singing and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. This goes back to Sarah and Hagar. Remember, Sarah was barren, Hagar got pregnant. But the one that was barren, she has more children than the one that had children, but she had Ishmael. The Lord blessed Ishmael, gave him 12 princes, and you see that Ishmael is blessed. They have a blessed land. You know, they are blessed people. They got a lot. But the Israelites, on the other hand, are going to be far greater. And they're going to be so many that it says, enlarge the place of thy tent, meaning where you live, enlarge that. Make it bigger, stretch it out, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thy habitations. So where's that going to happen? That's going to go further than the planet Earth. It's going to go out there to different planets. Spare not, lengthen thy cords, and strengthen thy stakes. Why? Because the Israelites are going to be so many. For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles, the actual nations, because they will be our slaves.
My slaves, my Edomites, welcome to hell, welcome to the kingdom.
And that's the true meaning of being blessed, to have slaves. Slaves bowing down to you, coming to you at your beck and call, and make the desolate cities to be inhabited. Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded. For thou shalt not be put to shame, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, meaning everything that we've suffered is going to be forgotten. The Lord said he's going to wipe away all tears from our eyes. It says, and shall not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore. For thy maker is thine husband, the Lord Yahweh Shai of hosts is his name, and thy redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the power of the whole earth shall he be called.
The Lord promised better things for us, okay? Because the Lord Yahweh Shai has a favorite people. And he's going to give this favorite people a heavenly kingdom. A kingdom that's blueprinted and formatted and patterned after his mind. How he want a kingdom to be.
But rather, seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell that ye have, and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approacheth, neither moth corrupteth. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Kakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards young brothers, and peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashim Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scripture through faith in Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right, and what I want to get into today, is dealing with this morning news and prophecy, is they're setting up the digital infrastructure, and these devils, we have to remember the scripture call this man, more crafty than any beast of the field. All right, because we're dealing with the serpent. All right, the spirit of the serpent that was in the garden. Well, that's the spirit that's in these Edomites, okay, that's ruling the earth today, and they're moving with heavy subtlety and rolling out this new world order. All right, and the closer we see these devils, get to rolling out this new world order, they got this war that they're dealing with as well. Okay, this is beautiful, man. The way the Lord got this thing playing out, this is beautiful, man. And this happened according exactly to what the prophecies say will be happening, man. Hey, things are working in our favor, man. And that's why we should have a spirit of joy, man. We're seeing what the Lord is doing real time, according to prophecy, man. The way that these things are happening, okay, and they're joined together, and it's all according to the Lord's will, okay. So let's get a few precepts, and I got a few videos I want to get into, man, to show you the craftiness, of this devil. Now, when you go into here, Genesis 3:1, all right, and the spirit been linking, the serpent unto Esau heavy, brothers, elder brothers been getting into it, even, apostles, going to, all right, that this devil that rules the earth, okay, is linked to, all right, the serpent of the garden, okay, which was a man. All right, at this time he had melanin, okay. But now we understand that Esau, Edom, okay, is the serpent reloaded, okay, ruling the earth real time, okay. Now when you go to Genesis 3:1, it says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord power had made, And he said unto the woman, yeah, have the Most High said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Okay, now I want to put emphasis that the serpent was more subtle. Let's get this word subtle. Okay, um, the serpent was more subtle, which go into the Hebrew, all right, which is a rum, okay, which means goes to what? Subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly. Okay, so in wickedness, the devil, he's crafty, he's shrewd. You see, he's cunning. Okay, cunning. All right. Now, when you go here, as we go into Ephesians, well, before we get to Ephesians, we go to Revelation, when it speaks about, all right, the devil being loose. All right, this is the Renaissance. Speaking of the Renaissance period when the devil, will be allowed, all right, to rule the earth, under the order of Satan. Okay. It says, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Okay. And it's not talking about after 1,000 years in the kingdom. Okay. Satan, all right, coming from a pit, and you got to fight this nigga again. Okay. No, that's not what they're speaking of, man. All right. They're speaking of these devils who will come and rule, okay, in the energy of Satan. Okay. Edom is possessed by Satan. All right. And he will come back to power. All right. He came back to power during the Renaissance period. He was loosed out of his prison, when he was, uh, put away as an outcast of society, man. The devil had turned to a whole beast, man. As the scripture say that there was bran in the bushes, juniper root, and marshmallow was their diet. Okay. So the Lord allowed this man, to wiggle himself back into power, taking down, strongholds, okay, intermarrying with, noble families, so forth and so on. But this devil, he wiggled his way back to power. Okay. And these are the people that will rule, all right, under the spiritual demon Satan, under that energy, man. Okay. Because going back to the serpent, when you go into, all right, the word serpent when the Hebrew in the kash, which goes back to an enchanter, a diviner. Okay. The original Satanist, man, goes back to the serpent. Okay. So Esau, he embodies, the spirit of Satan, man. All right. And he was loose during the Renaissance period to be able to conquer the earth. All right. And what will be one of his main, all right, tactics in conquering the earth? Verse 8, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is the sand of the sea. Okay. So the devil, will go forth and deceive. You see, that's a major part of his rulership is deception. In order for Esau's kingdom to function, okay, people have to partake in the deception. Okay, and it goes back to the craftiness of the serpent. All right, so Esau will come back to power with that craftiness and that slyness and that subtlety of the serpent. Okay, and also what? The sword, which was the blessing given to him by Isaac. All right, and it would lead him to a battle with Gog and Magog, and we're gonna tie all this in, man. Hey, this prophecy is speaking because Revelation 28:20 and verse 8 sums up this nigga's rulership. He will come back during the Renaissance, okay, with deception. All right, he will conquer the earth with the sword, and it will lead to a war. All right, with Russia, which will be the end of his kingdom, man. All right, so we're seeing the Most High wrapping this nigga kingdom up, man. Oh man, it's almost over. We finna be home. Okay, everything is in the making for us to go home, man. Okay, and those new bodies, man, and those blessings, man. Receive those promises, man. You see, so we're seeing the Lord wrap this nigga up, man. Okay, pack them Edomites up, man. Like that, like they YouTube Jake. Okay. Okay, he talking about the sports, man. Okay, pack these Edomites up, man. This is what we're seeing prophecy doing, is pack these Edomites up, man. Okay, so let's go from there. Let's get this in the book of Ephesians. Then we'll start segueing to these videos. So you get this in the book of Ephesians, you know, as we understand, you know, this is spiritual warfare, okay? And the devil, all right, his main objective is to occupy the minds of the masses, man. And that's why he wants to put technology inside you, you know, because he controls, you know, he pushes enchantments externally now, okay? But he wants to put his device in you, man. He wants to be, all right, inside, okay, the masses and on a whole nother level, man. You see, he wants control on another level beyond, you know, the enchantments that he has now, you know, the psychological warfare that he, you know, wages on the people. Now he wants to put his technology in you, man. You see, he want to invade you in a whole nother way. Okay. This Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Okay. So we're to be strong in our power, man. You know, knowing that he is. Okay. Because we're gonna have to believe that he is going into these times, man, because the devil finna throw everything he got to try to maintain his power and to try to establish this new world order. Okay, but we have to be strong and know that there's a power above Esau, Edom. Okay, but to most people, Esau is the most high. They don't see authority above this nigga, man. Especially when he start bringing out all stops, man. You know, to attempt to establish a new world order. But we have to be strong in the Lord, you know, and have faith in what is, man, and he is, and what's written, and that victory, man. You know, we got to cleave to that victory in these times, man. Even in these moments, it's going to seem, you know, hopeless, man, and pointless to believe, man. We got to believe then, okay? By faith, not by sight. Verse 11 said, put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. So let's go into this word wiles, okay? Let's go into this word wiles, man, because this nigga finna come with all stops, man. And he has all type of snares and traps set up for the masses, man. You know, and people are unaware. So you go into that Greek word
Strong's G 3180, Methodiah.
Methodiah, all right, which goes into method. Okay, well, what you go back to? Okay, going back to the serpent, cunning arts. Okay, the same spirit of the serpent, cunning arts, deceit, craft, trickery. You see, the same qualities mentioned, all right, within the serpent, man. Okay, so in these times, Esau is moving, you know, as that cunning serpent with trickery and deceit. Okay, to herd people into this digital enslavement, man. You know, to the point he has people setting up the digital infrastructure. Okay, so let's play this. Let's go to this first video. All right, let's go here. So they played this during the Super Bowl commercial, and when I seen it, I immediately knew, like, dang, because we talked about this. You know, we talked about this once before. The spirit had to come out, man. You know, just speculating the spirit. I said them goddamn Ring cameras, okay, was gonna be linked to this digital public infrastructure. And you know, and I'd be goddamn. You know, you watch this Super Bowl commercial. All right, so let's play this.
This is Milo. Pets are family. But every year, 10 million go missing. And the way we look for them hasn't changed in years. Until now. One post of a dog's photo in the Ring app starts outdoor cameras looking for a match. Search Party from Ring uses AI to help families find lost dogs. Since launch, more than a dog a day has been reunited with their family. Be a hero in your neighborhood with Search Party. Available to everyone. for free right now.
This will include the largest ever rollout of live.
So now with the Ring camera, you have this software called Search Party. All right. Now they're promoting it as if, it's to help people locate their lost animals. All right. To where, matter of fact, let's go here. Let's just pull it up real quick. All right. And this is nothing but DPI. This is nothing but, this devil getting people to install, all right, surveillance technology, man. This devil has people, okay, installing this surveillance technology. Now, if you got the Ring camera, it is what it is, man, because at the end of the day, we're going to need a miracle, man. But see, we know what it is, and we know what this devil, all right, we know where he going with this, man. Okay? But people, are just getting this technology, not understanding, that they're installing this devil's digital public infrastructure surveillance state. Okay? You think this devil is offering, and it's free. You see, that's the thing. It's free. Okay? El Zahab, he always makes the point that if something is free, then you're the product. If Esau give you something free, then you're the product. Okay? So it says Ring has introduced a specialized AI-powered feature called Search Party, designed to help find lost pets currently focus on dogs by leveraging neighborhood camera networks. This feature launched alongside, all right, a Neighbors app update in late 2025, early 2026, allows users to report a lost dog, which then triggers AI scanning on participating outdoor Ring cameras in the vicinity, man. Okay, and if you think that this devil doesn't already have all these cameras, because even it don't even have to be Ring, it can be any camera. If you don't understand that this devil already has all these cameras networked, okay, and that's one of the main things of Palantir, all right, is to centralize, all right, all this data, man. Okay, these data gathering platforms, okay, and all these surveillance platforms. Okay, you have this thing called Flock Technology, okay, which they're installing, these cameras through cities and neighborhoods. Okay, and then you have people's personal cameras, especially those Ring cameras, all right, that are all being united on one big network, man. Okay, and if you think that if you don't sign up to Search Party, that your camera is not being used, well, these devils, they're using it now, man. Okay, they're just presenting it to the public. Okay, and they're selling it. It's what you call a soft sale. They're doing a soft sale like it's about animals. All right, finding a lost dog. Okay, you think Esau got all this data, these billions and trillions of dollars of data, okay, and infrastructure that he's setting up to help you find a dog, to help you find Milo? Okay, hell no, man. All right, this is going towards the DPI for surveillance state. Okay, so this whole thing with Search Party with the Ring, okay, cameras, all right, is all part of his DPI, man. Okay, so it says AI powered scanning. Okay, this devil, he wants to run the earth on AI. He wants to surveil and police people with AI, man. Okay, this is what he wants. He's rolling the system out. Okay, it says when a pet is reported lost in the Ring app, participating outdoor camera, doorbell, floodlights, spotlights use computer vision to scan for matching animal, man. This is nothing but surveillance, man. Okay, and he's easing it in. All right, because let's see how many people have Ring cameras now. How many people? Yeah, we're hearing us talking. It said why Amazon does not release exact sales figure. A 2023 report estimated that roughly 10 million Americans use, all right, Ring cameras for their home. This significant adoption rate is supported by data indicating that doorbell cameras are present in 1 in 5 households, or 20% of households. Okay, that's a lot of cameras, man. All right, let's see how many people have cameras outside the ring. How many people have house? All right, cameras. Yep, there you go. Said more than 50% of U.S. households have at least one security camera, while popular Ring and other doorbells make up only a portion of this, with a significant growing number of homeowners using dedicated non-doorbell standalone or wired security cameras for interior, driveway, and perimeter surveillance to monitor pets, children, and security. So you have, all right, over 50%, okay, of Americans, all right, they have what? Security cameras, man. All right, and this is all they're gonna tie this what's already existing. They're gonna use this existing infrastructure, okay, for a surveillance state, man. You know, don't be surprised if they make it a law that you cannot remove those cameras. Okay, don't be surprised if they make this thing a law or some legislation. You know, they say is needed for national security. You know, because they going national security to death. You know, at the White House, man. Okay, so don't be surprised if they say, look, we need these to stay in place for national security. Okay, we got you in the database, you linked, you're on board, you know, now, all right, this is a part of government or national security. Your camera system is now a part of national security. Okay. I won't be surprised, you know, just me speaking as a man, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. Okay. So let's see. Let's go from there. All right. So let's go back to the video. You know. And they're rolling out everywhere. You know, they're gonna go. So now they're gonna go through different, you know, nations. You know, they're rolling out. Okay, you know, this network of, you know, cameras. Okay, and this is nothing but DPI, man, digital public infrastructure.
Facial recognition technologies across England and Wales. We know this approach works. In London,
for Aussies, a good night's sleep starts at the front door cord. They tell you what happened.
I want to know what the bumps in the night might be, or if the dog's going around just chasing things in the yard.
Mum of two, Justine Firth, is testing out the most talked about feature, video descriptions.
The app's telling me that there's a person carrying a box, and that's the time and date. But it's also got a really detailed description.
Brands like Arlo, Riolink and Amazon are supercharging their cameras with AI. But the best part, these new technologies won't cost you a fortune, with prices starting from $119.
Now AI can understand what's captured in a video and actually describe that to you in text, and then send you a message explaining what the video is, so you don't have to actually go and watch the video.
Aussie homes are getting smarter. About 31% now run a security system. Well, soon your camera will be able to recognise familiar faces. And if your dog goes missing, it'll send alerts to people nearby to help find your pooch. No matter what you buy, the biggest tip...
You want to also make sure you look at how much the subscription costs are, because you'll need to pay that every month.
At nearly 6 feet tall, the newest police recruit on patrol in the city.
It's all digital public infrastructure, man. Okay. They're beginning to network. Well, these cameras are already networked. This is them vaguely telling you, okay, that got all these cameras networked, man. Okay, that's why they make these things affordable. Okay, so now you got this humanoid robot traffic cop that's patrolling in China, man. Okay, they're rolling out the New World Order, man. Okay, they're gradually rolling this thing out, man. And the C-hip is gonna link you to all of this, man. You got that C-hip now. When that camera pick you up, you have a digital, your digital data self, man. Your digital you. Okay. Now when you put that C-hip in, when these cameras pick you up, they pick up everything. Okay. So these devils are they're putting it in effect, man. You see? Different nations are more, are further ahead at different stages, but everybody, they're implementing it everywhere, man. Okay.
Of woohoo commands attention, less because of the uniform than the 6 high-definition cameras and advanced sensors under that hat that allow the AI-powered robot called R001 to manage the flow of traffic and people in the streets and around the clock. It looks just like a real person at first sight, says this pedestrian. Real-life Robocops like this have been rolled out in other Chinese cities too, including Chengdu, Hangzhou, and Shanghai. One of the police instructors says the robots work alongside human traffic officers, or they can tap into the traffic lights to work solo.
Starting next week, my government will implement the following actions. First,
so the robots can tap into the traffic lights. Okay, they want AI and these robots to govern society, man. All right, and if you think they're gonna stop at traffic bots, nah, man. Okay, it's gonna be just like Elysium, man. You see, it's gonna be their style of policing, and this is what they want. Okay, so you're just gonna keep hearing these different nations, and what they're implementing. Everybody is working towards their New World Order agenda, man. Every nation is working towards that. Okay.
We will change the law in Spain to hold platform executives legally accountable for many infringements taking place on their sites. This means that CEOs of these techno platforms will face criminal liability for failing to remove illegal or hateful content. And for that, we governments need to stop turning a blind eye to the toxic content shared under their watch. Second, we will turn algorithmic manipulation and amplification of illegal content into a new criminal offense. Disinformation doesn't appear by itself. It is created, promoted, and spread by certain actors. We will go after them as well as after the platforms whose algorithms amplify the disinformation for profit. No more hiding behind code. No more pretending that technology is neutral. Third, we will implement a hate and polarization footprint, a system to track, quantify, and expose how digital platforms fuel division and amplified hate. For too long, hate has been treated as invisible and untraceable. But we will change that, developing a tool that will provide the basis for undertaking future penalties. Because spreading hate must come at a cost. A legal cost, of course, a financial cost, and a moral cost that platforms can no longer afford to ignore.
So he's talking about regulating, all right, and censoring the internet. Okay. And to censor the internet, they want people to identify. Okay. So it's coming to a point to where in order to have access to the internet, well, you're gonna have to have some type of digital identity. And then he said there's a legal consequence, okay, a financial consequence. Let you know that they want to link your identity, your digital ID, to your banking. Okay, it's a social credit system that they're getting ready to roll out, man. Okay, they're rolling it out now. This is Spain. You see, we just read that other, report was in Australia. Okay, about their camera network. Okay, the facial recognition. You see, this is Spain. So this is global, man. All right, the robot was in China. The traffic robot that was in China. All right, that's why I said, well, it's going to try the world. You see, if a brother want to post that Revelation 3 and 10, this is going to try the world. Okay, so let's play this some more.
Fourth, Spain will ban access to social media for minors under the age of 16. Platforms will be required to implement effective age verification systems, not just checkboxes, but real barriers that work. Today, our children are exposed to a space they were never meant to navigate alone. A space of addiction, abuse, pornography, manipulation, violence. We will no longer accept that.
Well, okay, where does that come from? Who owns the corn industry? Why are these things even available? Okay, why are these things even available? Here it is, the small hats. Okay, hold on. All right, here it is, the small hats make these things possible. The small hats push a certain type of music. Okay, they push the corn, they over sexualize everything. Yeah, the XEX trafficking, all these different things. Okay, the whole earth is an Epstein Island, man. On the Esau Edom, with Amalek at the forefront. Okay, so how are children even able to get addicted to these things? Okay, the source of the problem of the planet Earth is all right, but then he jumps on stage. These Edomites jump on stage like, look, we're gonna fix this. We need to do this. Then they talk with some authority. It got to be some consequences. Okay, nigga, you are the problem. And they jump out. They jump on stage like they cursing the world out. They scolding. They fussing at the world, nigga. This is your shit show of a rulership, man. Okay, you are the problem of the earth. But then they jump on stage with this, like they just this the standards of morality, man. Like they're just this righteous knight in shining armor, where they just get to talk down and say, look, y'all need to get y'all shit together. That's basically what they be saying, man. We're gonna have to fix this. You see? So let's hear them again. I think that's in Sirach, man. Well, let me see. I'll get a brother to post it, man. But these Edomites have some goddamn nerves, man. The way they jump on stage, like these niggas ain't responsible for nothing. How is it even possible to have a corn addiction? Okay, how are these things possible? Why is everything so over sexualized, man, in this society, man? Okay. Yeah, if a brother can get that in Sirach 13 and 3, Bob Kashah. All right, but let's listen to this nigga, man.
They were never meant to navigate alone. A space of addiction, abuse, pornography, manipulation, violence. We will no longer accept that. We will protect them from the digital Wild West. Fifth and last, my government will work with our public prosecutor to investigate and pursue the infringement committed by Grok, TikTok, and Instagram. We will have zero tolerance on this matter, and we will defend our digital sovereignty against foreign coercion.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is
Civil liberty advocates and some lawmakers are sounding the alarm on the privacy risks of federal agents using surveillance toolkits during immigration enforcement operations.
Yeah, armed with facial recognition on their smartphones and professional camera gear, ICE agents are actually photographing the faces of the people they encounter during their daily operations. So it's all setting a new precedent for street-level surveillance and raising a lot of new privacy concerns.
NBC News AI fellow Jared Perlow joins us now with this story. Good morning, Jared. And Jared, your article this morning reveals how these ICE agents are using these tactics during their interactions, their daily interactions with both possible targets and also the people, the citizens who are observing all of this, right? What's happening out there and how is it different today, how they're using these tools?
Well, so I think it's important to realize that facial recognition itself is not new. We've had this technology for decades. Many people use it. Millions of people use it every day when they open up their smartphone or when they go through TSA. But what's happening now with ICE and Border Patrol officers seems like an incredibly new phenomenon. In decently scary ways, according to the people we talk to. So it seems like there's two different ways they're using it. One, they're using a new app called Mobile Fortify from the Department of Homeland Security. And this app basically allows officers on their smartphone to determine somebody's citizenship status. So we've seen this happen, or we've heard reports of this happening in Minneapolis, for example, where ICE agents will go up to an individual, they'll ask about that person's citizenship status. If they don't have papers on them or documents proving their citizenship, then they can then scan a photo of that person's face using this app, and it will run through its algorithm and determine whether that person is a citizen or not. The other way that we've seen this facial recognition technology being used is to take pictures of observers. So we've talked to people in Minnesota and in Maine who went out to observe ICE. They were at a gas station in some cases. They were looking at what the ICE agents were doing. Then the officers took pictures of them and in some cases said that their photo was going into a database potentially of domestic terrorists. So it's a pretty concerning situation.
The robocops aren't designed to be particularly fast or fearsome, but they are a key part of a wider strategy here to show off China's advances in robotics and to make machines more familiar to the humans whose lives they'll soon be transforming. Chinese robots have moved quickly from factory floors to daily life since 2015, when China's government declared robotics an industry to dominate. It is scaled up to produce 595,000 industrial robots and 13.5 million service robots in the first 3 quarters of last year. Morgan Stanley predicts China's robotics market will hit $108 billion by 2028. There are now more than 150 companies making humanoids.
So how long have you worked here?
We went inside one of the leading firms called Unitree last year and met G1 EDU. The robotics industry is backed by state funding, a lot of it, as well as venture capital. China's supply chain and talent pool help too.
Describe the pace at which robots and humanoids are evolving here.
Once it will work, it will go very fast. I think the unsolved problem at the moment is really still the brains. You don't want to have a robot that does a job 90% right. You need to have it do it over 99% right.
The robotics craze here is also powered by a state-sponsored public relations machine. Videos across social media show off robots kicking and performing stunts. Last year, Beijing hosted the first ever World Humanoid Robot Games, with robots in all shapes and sizes competing in events ranging from soccer to sorting luggage. These days, it's about accelerating embodied AI to build robot brains that can both think and interact with humans. With China's aging population and declining birth rate, robots and humanoids will change the future of work and daily life here, leaving the trundling robocops on duty in Wuhu to be only a preview of what's to come.
Now, how in the hell you got all this technology with a declining birth rate? Okay, showing you that Esau and these heathens don't got it, man. Okay, so let's get a couple of these precepts, and then we're gonna segue into this other video. Get some of these precepts our brothers got on the comment board. Okay, but how the hell you got all this technology with a declining birth rate? You see, you can make the robot do all this. Okay, you got the robot and the surveillance and, you know, the AI and all this shit. But the simple things of be fruitful and multiply, all right, that can't be done. Okay, this earth don't got it, man. This world don't got it, man. It's time for a new world. Esau and the heathens do not got it, man. Okay, they should not be at the forefront of society, man, making decisions, man. Okay, that's what we, all right, are seeing, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Okay, let's see. Let me pull this up. I had it pulled up. I must have accidentally got rid of it. Hold on, real quick, because I got another video dealing with try to find it. I'm gonna segue into some dealing with this war. I had it queued up. Let's see. I'll give me a minute. I want to find it. There you go. Yeah, Salaki. I had it queued up. I just want to cue it up and then we get into the video, to the precept. So here we go. All right, so let's go here, because as we see, you know, the whole world is trending towards this new world order. The whole world is trending towards this DPI, which is the digital public infrastructure, okay, which is going to, the microchip is going to plug you into this global infrastructure, this global network, okay, of data gathering and surveillance. Okay, this way the devil will be able to implement a social credit score, have programmable money, be able to track you, you know, even what you have, boundary money, you know, to where your credits don't work outside of certain bounds. Well, how are they going to know you're outside of a certain bounds? Because they're going to have this surveillance and they're going to have this infrastructure set up everywhere. Okay, so this is the brother beyond Yasha'Allah, Revelation 3:10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the earth to try them, which shall come up all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth, man. So this is going to be a global thing. You know, everyone is trending towards their way. You know, all these nations, man, Europe, all right, Asia, okay, Russia, okay, Australia, all these nations, African nations, Nigeria, Brazil is heavy into it, you know, so forth and so on. But this is a global, okay, network that's being rolled out, and this is the agenda of the elites. This is what the elites want: a global digital network, okay. And that C-HIP is going to enslave you into that grid, into the digital infrastructure, man. Okay, you're giving up all control and power to the devil. You know, you take that C-HIP, all right? But this is what's coming to try the earth, man. And Lord willing, you know, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, man. You see, because we're going to have to wait on the Lord. We're going to have to lose and be outcasts of this society and wait on the Lord. Okay, but the Lord is going to keep us from bending the knee. And we're going to be provided for. We're going to have provisions, man. So the Lord's not going to leave us out there through and destitute. Nah, man, the Lord's going to provide. You know, the Lord's going to honor us not bending the knee. You see? So because, you know, Lord will, we of that number, man, we're going to keep the word of his patience, man. Okay? Which is to deny this system, man. Okay? It says, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. all right, which shall come upon the world to try them to try them that dwell upon the earth, man. Okay, so this is what's coming. You know, as he building out this infrastructure, man, he's gonna mandate this thing. Okay, he's gonna make this thing mandatory. You see, and it's gonna get to a point to where it's punishable by death. All right, and this devil has some goddamn nerve, you know, to sit up there and say, look, well, we need to regulate this, we need to regulate that. You know, we need to do this, man. It's too much hate. Here it is. This nigga's making this huge deal about hate speech. Okay, when you have real time genocide going on. Okay, you have, you know, America and the small hats really unaliving, all right, women and children with fighter jets. Okay, but the priority is what's said on the internet, people's feeling being hurt on the internet. That has to be regulated. That has to be stopped. Okay, there needs to be some consequences for that. Okay, but meanwhile, is anyone on the Epstein list gonna be tried? And that's just, you know, a small portion of what these devils do. But is anyone gonna be tried? Is anyone gonna be convicted? Okay, here it is. These devils are just known and openly. All right, PDF files. Okay, XEX trafficking off the chain. And here it is. They talking about a network of cameras to find your dogs. Well, what about all the children that go missing? You can't put the network of cameras to keep up with the children, to surveil, you know. But this wicked nigga, he'll use it to see when the children are by themselves, man. This wicked nigga, man. Okay, so here it is. This the brother beyond Yasha Allah Sharab 13:3 said, the rich man have done wrong, and yet he threatened withal. The poor man is wrong, he must entreat also. So here it is. This man has done wrong, but he'll jump on stage with this suit like, look, we gotta stop this hate speech. You gotta stop this. It's too much of this. You niggas are addicted to corn. You're addicted to this. Like, nigga, they're addicted to your inventions. Who makes these things available? Even the drug addiction. Who's the biggest dope dealer on the planet Earth, man? All right, the Edomite male. Okay, the governments of the world are the biggest, all right, drug dealers there are. Okay, so all the addiction goes back to you. People are addicted to, you know, everything that someone is addicted to goes back to you. You are the supplier of everyone's addiction. Okay, whatever it might be, you are the supplier. Food, corn, drugs, whatever it can be. Okay, attention, clout, money. You are the supplier of every addiction on the planet Earth. Okay, it says the rich man have done wrong, and yet he threatening withal. The poor is wrong, and he must entreat also. Here it is. We've done wrong, but we got to explain ourselves. We got to be on camera 24/7. We're the oppressed, okay, of this system, but we need 24/7 surveillance. Okay, we need to explain our whereabouts and every move we make. Okay, so this man here is the wicked, man, and it's time for this nigga rulership to be ended, man. You know, and the Lord is wrapping it up, and that's why as we see this devil roll out his MOTB, it's only bringing him closer to this war, and we know in this war his ass is done. All right, and that's why America is dragging their goddamn feet, man. They can feel it. Okay, that this war is gonna turn America to a desert. All right, when the Lord finally make Iran and America lock up, which is going to draw in Russia and China. Okay, the end result is America being the desert, Yahweh Shai returning, destroying all the militaries of the earth, man, and we going home, man. Okay, so let's if a brother can get that in Jeremiah 49:10, because I did a lesson on it last night. All right, dealing with these small hats, man, how they putting their pressure in America, man. So this is another video to just confirm it, and BB supposed to be on his way to America now. Okay, he supposed to be on the way to talk to Trump now. Okay, to where he probably gonna scold Trump, man. Okay, like I say, slap that nigga in the back of the head and tell this nigga, look, this what we doing. Okay, because like I said, Esau was a coward, man. Okay, BB know that they can't do nothing with Iran by themselves. Okay, so they need America, all right, to jump out there full-fledged. You see, and then America like, well, this ain't, I can't just America know, well, they can't just bully Iran, so because Esau a coward, man. Okay, Esau is a goddamn coward, man. And if he doesn't have a major advantage, man, he don't play tough like that. You see, is that he plays tough whenever he has a great advantage, but when he don't have the advantage, we see that he just ain't tough like that, man. Okay, but the Lord gonna force this nigga to jump in there, man. So the brother can put that Jeremiah 49 and 20 Bible shot. So let's play this. Okay.
Account Medicare. And right now, the Middle East is sliding into a showdown. Israel has stated that they will hit Iran even without the United States backing. In the meantime, the United States has sent over 100 C-17s into the region, and some are saying on Desert Storm levels. And on top of all of that, the United States and Russia's New START treaty has expired. And now the UK is saying that they're not sure they'll be able to withstand a conflict with Russia without the United States backing. So a lot to break down. Let's dive in.
So let's start with Iran and this report from the most important news. And the headline reads, kick-off event incoming. Israel is going to attack Iran even if the U.S. does not. A major showdown in the Middle East now appears to be inevitable.
And this is these small hats. They're going to force the hand of America, man. Okay, to get in this conflict, to get in this brawl, man. Okay, which goes into prophecy: the least of the flock shall draw or drag them out. Okay.
Tyrants that are running Iran have taken tens of thousands of lives from protesters, and they have deployed ballistic missiles that travel so fast that they can reach Israel in just 10 minutes. It has been reported that they have been developing biological and chemical warheads as well, just for their long-range ballistic missiles. And during negotiations with the Trump administration, they are absolutely refusing to make any significant compromises. They are calling President Trump's bluff, and they are daring him to act. At this stage, it is not entirely clear what
they daring the nigga to act. Okay, they told Iran went in those negotiations and told them what they gonna talk about. Okay, we're not talking about our missile program. Okay, that ain't even no for discussion. We'll never discuss that with no nation. Okay, and then America, say, well, we're looking at military action. Okay, nigga. You see, that ain't, because, like I say, America, can they do damage? America can do damage to any nation. All right, America got some thump. We ain't denying it. Okay. But see, America not used to being bruised up in no fight. They're used to things being one way and them having a significant advantage. See, in this time, it's not gonna go like that. Okay, so Iran like, look, man, y'all gonna take significant losses, man. However it go, y'all gonna take significant losses, man, in this region. All right, and then Iran, they say they got missiles that can reach Tel Aviv in 10 minutes. Okay, in 10 minutes. You see, so that means they can send some crazy strike packages towards Tel Aviv, man. Okay, And that styrofoam dome, all right, ain't gonna hold up. And especially when they deplete it. And when they deplete it, well, yeah, man. So Trump done back down twice. Okay, he threatened to strike. He done back down twice, man. Okay, and then Yahoo, the meeting was supposed to be until later on. Okay, but he moved the meeting up to today. You know, showing the Lord is speeding this thing up, man. The Lord is wrapping this up, man. Okay, so let's play this.
Trump intends to do. But even if Trump doesn't pull the trigger, Israeli officials are warning that they will attack Iran anyway. Israelis know all about the Khorramshahr 4 missiles that Iran now possesses. And they know all about the unconventional warheads that could potentially represent an apocalyptic threat to major Israeli cities. So they aren't just going to sit back and do nothing if President Trump ultimately decides against a U.S. military operation. And according to the Jerusalem Post, Israeli officials are openly admitting that Israel will attack Iran alone if necessary. One source said that we told the Americans we will strike alone if Iran crosses the red line we set on ballistic missiles. This is a major bombshell. When Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu visits the White House on Wednesday, Iran's ballistic missile program will be a major topic of discussion. Of course, Trump would have preferred a diplomatic solution, but the Iranians are insisting that they must be allowed to continue to enrich uranium. And during the negotiations that took place in Oman, they wouldn't even talk about their ballistic missile program. The Iranians are drawing a line in the sand. They will not stop enriching uranium. They will not even consider negotiating with us regarding their ballistic missile program, and they will never stop funding proxies throughout the region. Michael goes on to say there is not going to be a negotiated solution. That means that President Trump has a decision to make, and the U.S. military, well, the buildup continues. We are being told that more than 100 military cargo planes have already traveled to the Middle East. Of course, this doesn't mean that there is a guarantee that President Trump will pull the trigger. As we have seen, he can be persuaded to change his mind at any time. But if we do attack, the Iranians are warning that they will retaliate by striking U.S. bases in the region. And the Iranians have also repeatedly warned that major Israeli cities will be primary targets. In fact, a huge sign in Iran is showing specific cities inside Israel that will be targeted. There appears that there will be no turning back now. If President Trump refuses to attack, the Israelis are going to do it anyway. And once an attack begins, the Iranians are promising to hit back extremely hard. The final chapter of the Great Middle East War is nearly upon us, and the clock is ticking. Washington is tightening sanctions, especially.
So yeah, man, these small hats, they're playing their role. All right. Hey, yeah, the water for that info, bro. You know? Yeah, so the brother said the meeting was supposed to be held February 18th. You know, the brother Taza One Hopeful Late 144 at the wire for that info. So the meeting was supposed to be held February the 18th. Okay, so they moved it up a week. Okay, because Trump, all right, been dragging his feet. Okay, he been talking all this shit since the beginning of the year. All right, and that nigga ain't bust a grape. Okay, see that Venezuela, that's old now. That's old hype. What's next? Okay, so now, all right, then Yahoo coming over here today, man, and it's gonna be interesting what happens in the days to come. Okay, so we gonna see, man, that Trump gonna drop his nuts over there, or is Netanyahu gonna have to kick this thing off, man? All right, but we know these small hats, okay, are gonna be the catalyst that jump this thing off, man. Okay, so let's go here, brother. Loyal to Yahweh Shema Shah, Jeremiah 49:20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he have taken against Edom, and his purposes that he have purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, all right, and he shall make their habitation desolate with them, man. All right, because America is going to turn to a desert, man. So America is in a trap. Okay, we always get it. Jeremiah 50 Let's get Jeremiah 50 verses 20 through 20. No, Jeremiah chapter 50 verses 22 through 25. Bible shot. Okay. Yep. Like the brother put verse 21. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. Yeah, it's going them nukes. The earth gonna rail to and fro like a drunkard, man. And the cry, it says, at the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea, man. Because you them small hats gonna get their work too, man. Okay, the land of Israel gonna be cleared out, man. Okay, through war, man. Okay, all them missiles hitting at the same time over there, but especially here in America, the judgment of America gonna make the earth shake, man. Okay, and America, they have to do it. All right, because BB said, nigga, if you don't do it, if you don't hit the nigga, I'm gonna hit the nigga. You know, I love to hear this conversation, the real conversation, not the, the news. Okay, the what they're gonna show on the news. The pictures and the photo ops that they're gonna show on the news. I would love to hear the real conversation BB gonna have with Trump, man. Okay, he probably grabbed that nigga by the collar, every goddamn thing, man. Let's see. Let's see. Let's go. I'm gonna jump up because not only even with Iran, but also, so America, they're gonna be forced to defend those small hats, and now Europe is like, look, nigga, we can't do nothing with Russia. Because America started their war. It was America that started their war between Ukraine.
You didn't know how good Riverside was for podcasting? But I got you. Riverside is your one-stop shop for creating your podcast.
News is
all right. So let's go here because you have another thing. All right. America started this war with Ukraine and Russia. So that's why when you got Trump saying, I'm coming to make peace between Ukraine and Russia, the war should have never started. Nigga, y'all started, America started that war. America armed Ukraine, okay? NATO trained Ukraine military, which NATO is just an extension of America, okay? They trained Ukraine to go to war against Russia, okay? So they thought that, they was at least going to do damage to Russia. They thought they could at least cause civil unrest in Russia because of the war, but it's been the exact opposite, man. Russia military has increased drastically, okay? Almost 30,000 recruits a month, okay? Then you have Russia being war hardened. They're learning how to fight against NATO and American weaponry. Okay. And now these EU nations is telling America, like, look, man, we can't do nothing with these niggas, man. Okay. When they finish taking Ukraine and they keep going, what we gonna do? So now America is gonna have to deal with this small head in Iran problem, and then they're gonna have to deal with this Europe and Russian problem. And see what's gonna happen. All these nations are going to see, look, America can't protect us, man. We'll be better off joining the other side and destroying this bitch, man. Okay? Which is all in prophecy, man. A brother can post that Revelation 17. All right, verses 15 through 17, Bible Shah. But let's play this dealing with Russia.
Has been issued a grim warning over its ability to independently defend its skies. And speaking of tense, Express News is reporting that Britain has been issued a grim warning over its ability to independently defend its skies from Russian missiles. Carlo Masala, a professor of international politics, said that without the United States support, key UK cities are under serious threat from Russian strikes. The expert warned of how Russia is already significantly replenishing its stocks, including building roughly 500 new tanks and upgrading others. He said that the West has underestimated its vulnerability to Russia, which boasts a strong arsenal of long-range missiles. He went on to say that the Russians have some military advantages that we don't have in Europe, If the US doesn't help us, we don't have enough air defenses. So if Russia sends those ballistic missiles and their cruise missiles to Great Britain or Germany, neither would be able to protect its major cities. The head of the armed forces in December said talks were underway about new air defenses for the UK, but Russia's capability and willingness to use ballistic and cruise missiles has become more apparent. And the threats coming out of Russia, particularly from Putin's closest allies, are terrifying. And I would show the headline here, but unfortunately I can't on YouTube. But you get my point. So they're warranted in their concern in regards to Russia. Now, with that said, Ukraine and Russia reportedly working on a...
So now you have the EU saying, look, without American help, man, ain't nothing we can do against Russia. But America gonna have their hands tied. Iran by themselves gonna be giving America all they can stand. Okay, there's no way that they can pivot and open up another front to try to help Europe. And then they talking in Europe talking about these American defense systems. Nigga, that shit don't work against the missiles of Russia and Iran. Russia and Iran showing you that none of that shit that America got as far as missile defense, none of it worked. Their 12-day war, okay? The Iron Dome is made up of all American military hardware, okay? None of it works, okay, against those hypersonic missiles from Iran and Russia, man, okay? So these nations are defenseless, man. And this is why we're getting ready to see these EU nations turn on America, man. All right, because they got economical differences and for security purposes, man. It's like, look, man, these niggas can't defend us, man. So why even be loyal, man? Okay? Why be loyal to America when America has been loyal to itself and they can't defend no goddamn body, man? Okay? They can't even defend this small piece of land, okay? The state of Israel, which is the size of New Jersey. They can't defend that. Okay? How are they going to defend this big continent of Europe, man? They can't. Okay? This nigga been hyped up, man. This nigga is overrated. Okay? Highly overrated, man. Okay? So let's see. Did the brother get that in Revelation 17, Baba Kashah? Revelation 17 verses 15 through 16. So let's get some of these other precepts brothers got though. Get a few more. We close out. So yeah, man. So you see how as we see the devil rolling out his digital infrastructure, okay, the Most High is bringing them closer to war because it's all tied together. Because when that CHIP is made mandatory, hey, we out of here, man. Hey, the chips, then the ships. He gonna the microchip, then the ships, man. Okay, things are gonna move quickly. So let's go here. This is Jeremiah 15:22. It says a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. And this from the brother Lord to Yahweh Bashem Shai. It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? All right, so we're hearing these war drums, man. Sound of battle. Okay, these nations are geared up to go to war. Okay, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder? Well, this third world's war is going to break up Babylon. How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations, man? All right, because the Lord has raised up these kings of the east, okay, to break this hammer, man. You see, it says, verse 24, it says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, thou was not aware. Okay, so America is going to walk into this trap. America, all right, all this tough guy talk, and then all this America, the greatest, nigga, where? Show us some. We got the greatest military. We got the biggest this. No one, what he was saying in Venezuela, no one can do what we just did in Venezuela. What, kidnap the Venezuela president? Okay? What's so great about that? Okay? A quadrillion-dollar military went and took a president from South America. Okay? What was so great about that? Nigga, show us something. All this American hype about we so strong and we this the best. Nigga, show us something. They go, I ain't seen nothing. They waiting over you. They waiting over there for you. Okay? So all this tough talk from America, now they don't talk themselves into this trap. Okay? And it's saying that, and then there's rumors that Trump is begging Iran to do a arrange exchange of strikes, to where, okay, let me Trump, they say they speculation that Trump is saying, okay, let us, do 2 strikes, in Iran, and then y'all can do 2 strikes, and then we just call it off. Okay, so Trump can look strong, so he can play tough, so he can say, "Yeah, I destroyed this, and we destroyed that," And then Iran like, "Nah, nigga, we ain't playing them games." Okay, they ain't playing them games with you no more, man. Okay, when this thing kick off, this gonna be, hey, this gonna be real. Okay, it says, "I have laid a snare for thee, and thou also taken old Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord." Okay, because thou hast striven against the Lord, and America has been the motherland of anti-Messiah. Okay, it has been the source, okay, of rebellion in the earth, man, and influenced the earth in rebellion, man. That's why it's going to get the brunt, okay, of the Lord's wrath, man. All right, verse 25, it says, "The Lord," all right, so like, "the Lord have opened his armory," okay, "and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation, for this is the work of the Lord of hosts in the land of the Chaldees." All right, so the Lord has opened up his armory, which is these nukes, man. All right, because that's what's going to end this place, is going to be these nukes, man. Okay, this is Revelation. Matter of fact, before I get that, I see the brother got that. Yeah, nigga want to play fight. you know, Nigga want to play fight, man. Ain't nobody playing with your ass no more, man. Okay, well, we gonna go there. But if you as tough as you say you is, it shouldn't be no problem. If you half as tough as you say you is, nigga, it shouldn't be no problem. You should be with it. You know. So this is the brother Tazawan, Hopeful Lake 144, Revelation 16 and 12. It says, "And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared," man. So the kings of the east is locked and loaded over there. China, Russia, and Iran, they locked and loaded. And Turkey gonna flip and join that alliance, man. And they locked and loaded, man. And they gonna come west. Okay, they gonna come west with all the smoke. Okay, they not gonna play with you Americans and you small hats, man. Okay, so let's go here. And we'll end it here. Let me see. Let's go to the book of Revelation. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 15. It says, "And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues." Okay, so America, dominates the earth, man. It dominates this government, this beast system government. Okay, that rules the earth. Okay, and it says, "In the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And that's those nukes, man. Okay, because the European has these European nations have no capacity for conventional warfare. The only thing that these European nations can do is send nukes to America, man. Because that's their role. That's all they are. These European nations, Poland, and they can't do nothing with Russia, man. Okay? Nothing. Okay? And Russia sunk their hypersonic missile right there on the border of Ukraine and Poland. And he put the EU on notice, man. Okay? He sent that Mach 10 missile, like, boom, here go my business card. Okay? And put the EU on notice. And they know ain't nothing they can do with Russia conventionally, man. So the thing that's going to make sense is for them to just get rid of America, because America gonna stir all this shit up. Okay, America is the source of all this controversy, the war, the conflict. America's at the source of this shit. So these nations will be like, look, man, the common denominator is America, man. Okay, so the Lord gonna put it on these nations' spirit, man, to erase America off the map, man, to take America off the board. Verse 17, for the Most High have put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. So we come into the time now where these EU nations are going to break away from that alliance with America, and they're going to join the kings of the East and destroy this bitch, man. So this is where we at, man. Okay, this is where we at in prophecy, man. So this devil, pushes his MOTB. He's rolling out this infrastructure. Okay, putting these cameras online and these networks. Okay, the war's right here at the steps, man. So when the devil mandates this sea hill, things are gonna go fast, man. So that's the point. Lord will, you brothers. All right, and you sisters edified. To the next time I say shalom. Kwam Yashala Bible Ball soon. Shalom.